Hello, everybody. Hello. Such wonderful to see you again. This is our fourth meeting in Dhammapada Dialogues. And today we are going to investigate the 9th and 10th verses. So let me share the screen. And so there's a picture of a person who is not very happy and a lot of other people. And Fefe, would you be so nice and read out this verse and the story that comes after?
Hello, my friends. Hello, everybody. Hello, Merck. Uh, okay, of course I can read. It's the verse 9, right?
Mhm.
Um, he who, without cleaning himself of mental impurities, without self-control and truthfulness, wears yellow robe is unworthy of wearing it.
Yes. And this is okay, and this is the story. Could you read this one out also?
Okay. Who is worthy of yellow robe? Story of Devadatta. Once, two chief disciples of the Buddha, Sariputta and Moggallana, took leave of the Buddha from Jetavana Monastery and went to Rajagriha. The residents of Rajagriha offered them alms in groups of two, three, or more, according to the custom of the time. One day, while participating in the Anumodana, Sariputta explained to them the noble consequences of almsgiving. If a man gives alms but does not encourage others to give alms, then in the future lives he receives the blessing of wealth himself, but not the family wealth. If he himself does not give alms, but encourages others to give alms, then in future lives he does not receive the blessing of wealth himself, but his family members do receive these blessings. 3. If a man neither himself gives the alms nor inspires his family members to give alms, such a person has a miserable life in future. Neither he nor his family members receive the blessings in the future. 4. On the other hand, if a man himself gives alms and also encourages his family members to give alms, then in future births they all are blessed with fortune. Do you want me to keep going?
Oh, yes. Can you hit those two also?
Okay. On hearing the benefits of almsgiving, uh, one of the lay disciples, through innumerable sorry. I will start again.
Oh, yeah.
On hearing the benefits of almsgiving, one of the lay disciples thought, innumerable are the benefits of dana, charity. Why don't I invite the bhikkhus for the dana ceremony? Therefore, he arranged for the almsgiving at his residence the next day, went round the town to raise funds so that there was no shortage of the offerings. One rich man donated a valuable piece of cloth, saying, "You may sell it if there is a shortage of funds. Otherwise, you may offer it to some deserving bhikkhu." The function went off well. There was no shortage of funds. Thereafter the householders discussed amongst themselves, "Our function is over without any shortage of funds. Whom should we hand over this piece of cloth? Who deserves it the most?" Sariputta is the most deserving, someone said. Others questioned. But Bhante Sariputta has been coming and going off and on. He has not been staying with us continuously. Devadatta, on the other hand, has been staying with us regularly. We should offer this cloth to him as he is a resident of Rajagriha. Thus, considering their proximity to Devadatta, without going to the merit of the issue, whether Devadatta deserved the robe or not, they made the offering to Devadatta.
Yes, thank you. This is a story. So Tupiksu is the wise one, or yeah, like a synonym for monk. And so they are thinking, but so I can comment this. I very much like this piece of here that is in bold. That first, if you give harms on yourself to others, if you know people, some countries there is a lot of people who are like. Begging or it's not even begging, it's somebody who is need, and if you're helping them out, then you're getting a good uh, benefit for you in the blessings as a wealth in a future lives. But if you're not encouraging others to do the same, then the people around you, your family, will not have those benefits. But on the other hand, if you encourage others to do while you're not doing it yourself, while you could do it, then your family will be wealthy, but not you. And it's really interesting. And if you're not giving any alms and not encourage anybody else, then you and your, people near you will be not blessed with wealthy. But on the other hand, if you do give alms, if you do help out, do your best, and also encourage others to do the same, then you all will be blessed. And this is like a really, uh, very simply put, but I believe it is like so. And especially alms in like in a sense like food and money and so on. But I must say, in these countries where there's a lot of people begging, I would prefer to give food rather than the money, because there's also always this question of how can I say that they're begging as a job, and somebody else is coming and collecting, and it's not even for them, and then you're kind of supporting the crime thing behind it. Anyway, I feel like it's a little bit better to give food. Money would be like in a like exceptions when somebody really needs, somebody who the situation or things. But yeah, anyway, I go so far from the the point, but I guess you have to give like mm, see each situation separately, how it is and what is your possibilities. And I remember recently there was this guy who was begging, and at that moment I didn't have anything, and I had a little bit money, but I didn't feel right to give him money because he was near in one restaurant when I went to eat. And when I went back, came out, I had a little bit leftover with a very, very nice food. I was planning to eat myself, but then I was, okay, actually I could give it to him. But then he was already like looking around and talking to other people. And then I felt like, nah, he will probably get something from many people who are that day going there. I should give it to somebody, who needs it more. So if I see in my way somebody who like needs it more, I will give it to them. But in the end up, I didn't see anybody. So yeah, that's just a thought. Um, but what I wanted to tell you, this story actually makes more sense if you also read the next one, so and those two verses, the ninth one that says you can wear the yellow robes. Yellow is the robe of monk. Like in many countries, it's just yellow. Some countries it's yellow and like the stark red. It says that if you have mental impurities and without self-control and truthfulness, then you're not worthy of wearing this beautiful robe. And this is the one story, and this is another story when people are honoring one learned bhiksu here. And let me read this one, and then we can comment them together. So the 10th verse, he who has purified himself on his mental impurities is morally well established, is self-disciplined and truthful, is worthy of wearing yellow robe. And here you can see he's wearing a yellow robe. He has a calm face, like meditative pose, and he has learned and people are honoring. And while this one was, he was wearing this yellow robes, but people were not very much looking on his side, although he made a loud voice. So it doesn't matter how you look, it matters more what you are and what you're doing. So let me read this story. Only the pure deserve the yellow robe. The story at Devata. Devadatta immediately switched the cloth into a robe and started wearing it. So he was the one from the last story who got this beautiful robe. At the time, a bhikkhu from Rajagriha came to Sravasti to pay homage to the Buddha and told him about Devadatta and the robe. The Buddha replied, "This is not for the first time that Devadatta is wearing a robe he does not deserve." He told the story of his past life. Devadatta was an elephant hunter in one of his previous births. At that time, there lived a large number of elephants in a certain forest. One day, the hunter saw the elephants knelt down to Buddha and then only moved forward. If I can get some saffron rope, I can easily kill them, he thought. So he stole the upper part of the yellow robe, covered his upper part of the body and hands with it, and sat down on their usual road to movement. The elephant, mistaking him for Buddha, paid salute to the hunter, and the last elephant easily became prey to his spear. Thus he killed one elephant at a time every day. The number of elephants started coming down. Later on, Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be, was born as an elephant in the group. He was the leader of the herd. He also followed the habit of saluting the hunter, as his forefathers had done. But one day, on seeing their number getting reduced, he consulted among themselves. It appears that our number is decreasing. No elephant would leave us without telling us. I am suspicious of the man sitting in the yellow robe in the forest. He decided to investigate the matter. So he followed the herd at its end and was alert. When the hunter drew a spear, he was able to avoid the spear and saved him. Now he caught hold of the hunter and wanted to kill him. But when he thought of the saffron robe, he spared his life and told him, "By wearing the saffron robe and killing the innocent elephants, you have committed a heinous act. It is totally unbecoming of a bhikkhu." The Buddha further added, "Devadatta was the hunter in this birth, and I was the Bodhisattva, the leader of elephant herd." Wow. So,
Wow.
yeah, please, if you have any comments.
I just said wow because it's impressive.
Yeah, those two stories are like connected to each other very much. So I was thinking one thing about the story that the it must be like a long, long time ago, like eons ago, because Buddha became Buddha 2,500 years ago. But when he was not a human, but the elephant form, it might be like, in a cycle when we were living in a moon cycle, or like previously, like they say he became already arhat in the moon time, and now we have this the earth time. So how can I say it? It could be millions and millions of years ago if he was the one who was the elephant in the story. The Devadatta was deceiving in that life, and he earned some bad karma, but he also have earned some good karma, because in this previous story, people were giving him the like the special robe, but I was listening with this Piku in YouTube, who is also commenting. He's Yuto Tamo, and he was also commenting the same two verses, and he says that all in this life, also Buddha says that in this life the Devadatta had earned some good karma also. He was meditating and doing some things, but he was very much attached to the worldly things. Uh, in that sense that if people ask, he was doing some rituals and some ceremonies, and people ask a good crop, so he gave some blessings things, or read some mantras and things, and earned the respect like that. And then I was thinking, okay, what is wrong with that? And then this Pico explained like that this is a very earthly way to live, that if he goes around to gather alms, he's not supposed to like do it exchange. I mean, he could give something, and like Buddha gives also like some teachings, but it should be like um the main thing that Buddhist monks should give is the people to want to start meditate and think about the spiritual things, and think about like getting rid of this physical life, but if you bless their crops, and some people are healing. That was another thing. Some monks are go around and heal, then this might get that the people are getting more and more attached to the physical life, instead of hearing about the dharma and wanting to like renounce. That was an interesting thought. I never thought about it like that. Um,
You never thought about what specifically?
I never thought about. I was thinking it's okay if like monks go around and they ask like alms, and that that then before like uh, I'm in this one group that is supporting one monastery, and every once in a while it's possible to order some pujas. You pay some amount of money, and they are blessing somebody with a good health. If you have somebody like my relative who is in a bad condition, I can ask, and they are making this puja, reading some prayers, and it's supposed to help them. Or if somebody died, you give them blessings, or so it will be easier for them in the afterlife. or if you have somebody has a lot of obstacles, you can ask the obstacle remover puja. And I've in the past, many years ago, I used to sometimes um, you know, buy these things. I had some friends who were hard in situations in the school and things, and I did it. I just paid for them secretly. I didn't tell them, and I kind of hope it helps. But at the same time, um, like maybe it's better if I hold the good things in my mind about that person and bless them. And how can I say? Mm, I guess since I'm a lay person, it's not that big of a difference. But for a um, monk should not be only like this. I understand, like this bhikkhu explained that um, monk and priest are in Buddhist like a little bit mixed. That there are some like higher monks who are doing like jobs of a priest, and like people are very much loving them because they're around like the Devatata and doing what people are asking. But actually, what is a real job of a monk is to meditate and get themselves out of this world and help others to get out of this world and not be more attached to this world. And if Devatata is and other monks are doing in a helping people in this way more and more, then people are expecting all the monks to do the same thing. And so those monks who are actually trying to meditate and do those things are getting less harm and less support because people are expecting them to do those things. It was really interesting. I never thought, in these lines before. Yeah, and then this bhikkhu, yeah, please.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's the way that we see the things, right? Sometimes we change. I'm sorry, my voice is not good. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. Don't worry. Yeah, this Bhikkhu Yudata, who I was listening, he explained that he has this wonderful monk who has this power of healing and like power of foreseeing. So he's looking what is wrong with somebody' health and gives like, some suggestions and help them to heal. And he has so many people, and he also gets some money out of it. And with this money, he built this beautiful meditation center. But the thing is, people coming there, but not for the meditation, they come to get the help. And if they get help to live in a better physical life, then they're not interested in this teaching. And this monk explained that he really would love to uh, teach meditation. But again and again, when he starts teaching, everybody comes to ask help for their health. And this Yuda Bhikshu explained they were having lunch together, and they don't even let him finish the lunch. People are coming and asking here and there for their health, and he's all the time so much work because of that. And in one sense, he's helping, but in the other sense also. Um, how can I say? It is a very delicate theme. I cannot say it's like a black or white. If you help to get them better health, there's a chance that they are able to, um, meditate more and become like a better person and reach the higher realms. But oftentimes, how does this uh, diseases and the conditions on our health comes, there's some like misbehaviors, some unbalance in our life. And if we do not resolve this unbalance, then just, curing outside will not help long. And I used to know one healer who does not heal anymore. And I heard a story that he's a philosophical, like a person who had also this way. And then he helped many people. And then one time he helped to heal one person, a man who was bed sick for some years. And when he get well, he started drinking really heavily and making a lot of all kinds of problems for the family, and the family suffered greatly. And in the end, it kind of would have been better for the family if he would have been the bed sick. And in that sense, the person who helped to cure him took this karma. And this is like, wow. Um, I don't even exactly know what is the bad thing he in the end did, but
Ma'am, could you repeat this part? So if you help someone, you take his karma.
if you help somebody, like if I cures a person and this person after they are free of illness goes and robs a bank or kills somebody, and they would not be able to do it when they were sick, but because I helped them to get uh, uh, out of the sickness, then I take part of this karma.
Well, but if you didn't know and you just wanted to help, how can you
Yeah, exactly.
be?
But still a little bit. Yeah. You cannot think like that, but at the same time, I guess it's a little bit of it is there, and the same way, if you give money to somebody who is begging, but if they use it to buy alcohol or narcotics and make life more like bad decisions with that money, uh, then you take a little bit of that karma, and that is like one reason why I feel like I would give money only like a special places where I very certainly know where does it go, and it's not misused. But yeah, you have to be smart by helping. That is also, I mean, I agree. It is not nice to always think like that. That and not all the people who you are curing are ending up in such a way. But mm, but
This is something that is a very, very important lesson because there is a a phrase of a song that I like a lot, and I will say it in Portuguese and then I translate for you so you understand what
yeah,
my thought. It's like they say, o raio laser do amor às vezes toca a alma e é tanta lucidez que até salvar os bons já não lhe basta. Isso, that's the song. What says is like the laser of the love sometimes touches our soul, and you are so aware that it's not enough to save the goods, the good ones.
yeah. It's
And
not
so, but
enough. It's not enough to save the good ones. This is really nice.
yeah, and it's like, for me, this phrase of the song is a lesson that shows that the pure and true love is so high. And if you are touched by this kind of love, then you don't discriminate the ones who are good or bad, and you want to save them all. So, based on this principle, I would say a principle, but you
Mhm.
understood,
Yeah,
of this idea, you try to help everybody. But when you think that you will get the karma, of course, if you are so in love, you could get this, and I mean,
yeah,
you wouldn't care. But the problem is that if you are not helping them, in fact, then it's a problem.
yeah,
So that's what I'm thinking about now and wondering how to really help, because we are humans, and so we are not perfect to do the perfect things, but we try our best. Come on.
Yeah, totally, totally. We try, and I think this is the way that we try our best in many, many lifetimes, and this best will get a little bit better and better, and so on. Yeah, but yeah, I agree. Try to help everybody, but also, like, at the feet of the master, it says, learn so you will be able to help in a wise way. Because if you help, but you do not know in a right way, you might end up doing more harm. So I think it is like this, that if we see something that is bad and we could help, then yeah, I guess you have to be in the situation and then, see the circumstances and then decide. But if it's possible, it's better to help. Uh, but in a way, and yeah, and do it in a way that the person can help themselves. I guess in a healing, you can explain where this, if you are in that, I don't know, level of seeing, then I was also walking around, and I saw this place where Olcott was cremated, and I was sitting there for a moment, and then I remembered, Olcott also healed a lot. Masters give him some years this ability that he went around and he could make water a medicine, just like holding it or something, doing it something, and he has this power was entrusted to him, so he could do better in his theosophical work. People came around and they were listening his teachings and listening other things that he do also, because they know that this person has a power. He has something like and I understand he traveled a lot around in Sri Lanka and was healing, and then he made several schools there and was able, and he was very, very pure and like like yeah, and this kind of help him to spread the theosophy and spread the Buddhism. And like why we are also reading and studying it here is because the Mahashohan on one place in the Mahatma letters has said that Buddhism stripped away his superstitions and rituals and so on is like theosophy, or is the ancient wisdom, like so and Olcott was giving it, and he was also healing. So I think, but he only got these powers when masters saw that this is useful, and at one point they took it away. I understand. Uh, but on a certain point it was necessary, and I believe he did a lot of good. And but at the same time, I'm thinking like many of the schools, like they said, he used to make 200 schools in Sri Lanka. I guess it was like a little schools at that time, and about 4 big colleges. He started them, but like how many of them are now there? Like most of them are not. Like I know there's a big statue. I would like to go one day to Sri Lanka and see around and see. But anyway, coming back to here in they created many school in Adyar, and we have this one Olcott Memorial Higher Education School here nearby. And it's a nice school, and Theosophists still support it. But most of the schools, they ceased to exist or they went under the government. Because that time when Olcott started, at that time they didn't have for like lower classes the education system, but now they have, and yeah, so the things are getting better and better, and it's good that Theosophists have been behind some of the things that have getting better over the years. But now coming back to this verses 10 and 9. So basically, wearing a yellow robe, and by yellow is like holy color in yeah, yellow and red are like holy colors for monks, Buddhist monks especially. And uh, in this story, and the picture told about, he's explained that at that time there was this some ascetic who was wearing like rags. And if the elephants see a person with the rags, they know that they were ascetics, they were meditating in a forest, and they were safe. So they pay a respect. And some of them were like very highly developed, and maybe they had different kind of like clothes that time. Anyway, and then the Devadatta, when one of those ascetics were taking a bath in the river, went and stole their clothes and was wearing them. So elephant for mistook them, and they said it doesn't matter the rags outside, or it doesn't matter the stains on your clothes. It is more important that you remove the stains and mental impurities in yourself. We are living in a physical world, and I think we put a very much attention in this material world, how people look, and but get really to that level that uh, it doesn't matter so much what they look outside. And this is true for the monks, but I also think this is true for us as a lay people. It doesn't matter so much about the outside clothes. What is more important is what is inside going on. Yeah.
Well, my friend, I totally agree with that. I prefer what comes inside. But normally people don't think of that and judge the person based on what they wear, the brands, and all this kind of useless thoughts.
This is true. This is true. And you know what? I got this interesting thought about, I know it's some, I think, yeah, I don't remember even, I think it was some American theosophist. But anyway, the thought is this, notice what you're wearing. Because if you're you know, learning Buddhism, if you're learning Theosophy, and if you're putting them into your everyday life, then some people say it doesn't matter what I wear. It doesn't matter how I look. What is important is inside. But it is so and so, because for those people who are very highly developed, it doesn't matter how you look, because they don't look at your outside anyway. they can feel like what you are, what is your true colors, like if you can say like that. Uh, but where does it matter? It matters for those people who are seeing you first time, who you is the contact for Theosophy or Buddhism or some other teachings. They are looking how you look. And if you look like rags and doesn't care about your look, then it feels repulsive to them. And otherwise, maybe they would have get some, how can I say, teachings or something valuable from you. But they say no already by seeing. They don't even want to know more. So in that sense, if you're in the middle, if I'm still in this world of laypersons, I think it is important for me to, I don't say that I have to have the big signs and the film and things, but just, look neat and nice. And if you look like nice and presentable, then it might help, getting more people to Theosophy. Um, that was an interesting thought also, because most of the people are judging, and most of the people are getting their information 90% on the visual basis. They're looking at the physical world. They're looking how this person is looks, how they smell, and so on. So in that sense, it's it doesn't mean that you have to have like the really expensive and things, but put a little bit effort on your look, not only because it's important for you, but because it's important for other people who are seeing you. And then you might be, how can I say, potentially have a closer connection with them and potentially leave them a better feeling or sense about, oh, I want to know more about this theosophy, or I want to know more about these teachings or things.
Yeah, I agree because the first impression gives a memory, right?
Yeah. So take everything. But if I would be monk, I guess it will be different.
Yeah, yeah, sure. But here we are talking in uh, both levels. I mean,
Yeah, both.
we're not monks,
Yeah.
but we are also trying to reach this uh, kind of level.
Spiritual. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh. So we must see our reality as it is and also as it was supposed to be,
yeah.
and try to make a balance of how things actually happen and how we actually can uh, help in a through way. Uh,
Exactly.
it's 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 funny because it's I know it would be very self-centered if I say that this meeting was made for me. Of course not. But it's funny. It's funny how the lesson came to me in a moment that's so appropriate to hear this. In terms of how to help others in the correct way that you don't disturb them in their path or make a harm. You know.
Yep.
So for me, it's a very important lesson, and we come to the discernimento. Let me check how I say this word in English. Just a moment, my friend.
Of course, of course. Yeah, for me also, I feel like, um, yeah, you can do a lot of things, but it's like the motivation behind it. Like I can put like 2 hours.
Discernment.
Tell me?
Discernment.
Discernment, yes, discernment. This is also like such an important word. Yeah.
But I think it's also something to learn about because you said about the intentions.
Yes, discernment.
Sometimes intentions can change as well.
Yeah, I'm thinking like as a theosophist, as a person who have already a little bit have a background on, we should be able to discern those monks. Like if I have something valuable to give, I would see who is actually worthy it. Or maybe it's better to sell it and give the money, contribute that to the bhikshus or something like that. Uh, yeah, I'm thinking like if I will be in this situation, we need this as discernment to see which bhikshu is like more, how can I say, worth listening and worth, yeah. But at the same time, in our level, uh, since we are not that high, I think, yeah, you need to have this. You're on a way uh, on your spiritual development, but at the same time, you're like in a golden middle way. Also in this life, how you handling your things, how you handling your work, your home, your parents. So you will be by just being yourself and just living calmly your life. Uh, like you will be inspiring others. Yeah.
Yeah, that's important as well. Yeah, sure.
So this is what we can take. I mean, we have discussed it already at quite the length. I think we don't need to take next verses. Uh, but yeah, nice yellow robes. And I remember I have this one Buddhist teacher, Geshe Pema Dorje, who I used to listen every year when he comes to Estonia, and he was traveling around and he was giving some talks about Dharma, and then he was collecting some money. He has like 70 different a project of like helping people, old people, like children's home, then sick people who each somebody needed something for their mm, operation or some health issue, or anyway he has so many, and he connected the people and helping, and he did a lot of things. And he says he was born in Tibet, and then he started coming to India, and now he lives in Nepal. They have a really nice Budang monastery there. And he says when he was born, the monk, he mother went to the monk and asked what they should call the new baby, and he gave the name and the blessing. It says that this put this baby from all childhood in a red and yellow clothes. So he was brought up like he was playing. He became finally monk. I think he was like 12 years or 11 years old when he reached to Nepal. But yes, all his childhood he was playing around in this yellow and red colors. And sometimes when I'm, studying or something really important, or I also like to wear those two colors or like one of them. I don't know if it helps, but I'm just experimenting, and they're like beautiful colors indeed. Um, it would be nice to actually know a little bit about the psychology. Like I've heard about that people who are wearing red, um, the teams who are um, like basketball teams. or what any kind of teams, sports, if the uniform is red, then there's a very slight bigger chance that they will win because it represents like a blood and that makes others somehow affect their aggressiveness and chances to win. I do not know if I've seen some study of it, but I don't know if it's like totally true. But it's like interesting way of thinking. And about yellow, yellow is also such a nice and warm color. And I remember my very dear Theosophical teacher once said, who's also like a Buddhist, that if you had a chance, then color your room where you live a light yellow or light blue, that those two colors are like recommended like a spiritual like development and so on. And later I saw, I think this yellow and blue are the colors of Buddhi. If you look at the Blavatsky has this different tables about different colors. Uh, Again, I have not gone too much into it, but lately I feel like there's certain colors. People are not, how can I say, so aware about the colors that are around them, but I know that they do affect us, and maybe it's good to a little bit learn.
Sometimes it's an opinion, sometimes an impression,
Ah,
and both ways reflects and influences somehow.
yes, sometimes opinion, sometimes impression. Yes, yes, you're right. But I guess I suggest everybody to find out their own truth. And I do know that red and yellow, in at least Buddhist, are considered so holy that they do not. How can I make these colors? The monks have like 300 laws or 200 or something, the rules that they must try to keep when they are like monks. And one of them is, I think they cannot step over this color. So it's not good to have in those two colors when they are wearing the robes, to have those two colors there uh, like a carpet. You should not step over because it's like a holy color or holy combination. Anyway, just a thought that came to my mind. But like you can see, they are right now kneeling on this yellow carpet and he's sitting on this red cushion. So I guess paying respect to somebody is a different theme. But anyway, we have had a beautiful uh, dialogue and some interesting thoughts about this theme. And Vefe, do you have anything else to add?
My friend, I just like to say thank you for that opportunity and meeting. I learned a lot. I will reflect a lot as well about these points. And I hope we see each other soon
Oh,
on another teaching.
thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. I also thank you and all the watchers we will have in the YouTube later. Hopefully, this will help you too in some way in your life and living and everything what Fefe said. I'm happy to be here, happy to share it with you. Thank you, Mr. Rishikes, for helping to make this book, and Buddha for getting enlightened and give this all those teachings. And yeah, thank you all the teachers, thanks to whom it has reached us and made benefit many others. And until we meet next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.